Yeah, that's right. Collin P from the DMV. Mr. Fingaz. This week in UGA football. Get ready, baby. Let's go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How is everybody doing? Let me put my glasses on so I can see y'all. How you doing? How you doing? How's everybody down here in the front doing? It is Monday night, and y'all know what that means. Yes, there's NFL football on, but those of you that are here sitting with us, we appreciate you checking us out too. And if you got YouTube TV, well, actually, no, that doesn't work because we're not actually on TV. Never mind. I forgot how technology works for a second. I'm sorry, boo-boo. A pimp is just not technologically proficient all the time. Anyway, it is time for this week's episode of This Week in UGA Football. And who am I? I'm glad you asked. I am coming to you live from Zagnib Central in the 405 where the wind comes whipping down the plane. And that guy right there, he is the brother from another, the sexy mother Hubbard, the ace of base in the place. In your face, Collin P from the DMV. How are you doing, my guy?
My man, I am doing absolutely fantastic. First and foremost, want to send a super duper, absolutely happy birthday to the B man. That was he turned 14 yesterday.
My God,
And
man.
yeah, dude, crazy. Made me feel old, but I cannot be more ecstatic that my little man has turned 14. He's 2 years into the teenage years, so you know how that is. So
Dude,
he's
what makes me
coming
feel
into his
old?
own, man.
What makes me feel old is I remember meeting you and his mom right after y'all had, linked up and everything. And
Oh
now
yeah.
he's 14.
I mean, it's just time's flying, man. I mean, hate to sound like the old cliche, but time is absolutely flying. I mean, your boy here is 48 and he's 14, and it's just crazy. And this year's almost over, and football's almost over too.
I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that.
we
We are now, what is this week? This is gonna be week 7 of the season altogether.
have
It'll be
been.
week. Yeah, because we had a bye week. So
Right.
we just finished week 7. We rolling into week 8, if I'm not mistaken. Because we had a bye week and we're now 5-1. With a week off, that would mean week 7. So craziness, absolute craziness,
Absolute.
crap. That's what I'm calling it because like we've been waiting on football season all this time, and now the season is almost halfway done. We're talking playoff implications already. Meanwhile, baseball started in March.
Mm-hmm.
7 months ago, and they're just now getting to the playoffs. Like they're getting into the meat and potatoes of the playoffs.
That's right. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we're coming up on week 8. Just to verify there, coming up on week 8.
We're gonna add that to the Mr. Fingaz lexicon. I'm gonna have to start keeping notes of some of the stuff I come up with. It'll be funny to go back through these over the years.
Absolutely.
Absolutely crap is what it is. So y'all know the deal. There was a game on this past weekend, and there was a team that we really liked that was playing, and they at the end of the game they wound up winning. They came up with a victory. Georgia did come away with the win. The final score was 41-31. Dawgs now 5-1. We'll get more into the deep of it in just a bit. But just to kind of test the waters, Collin, and don't get too deep into it because we're gonna dissect this thing in a minute. How you feel? How you feeling about this win? Are you feeling good about this one? Or are you on the fence? What are you feeling?
I mean, I definitely didn't see us letting them hang 31 on us. I'm not getting too deep in it, but I mean, I don't know. Just looking at the stats here, I mean, we gave up. Van Buren had over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns and a pick. So, going back to what we said before, the previous years, our secondary looks to be getting exposed. And it looks like our line's doing all right. I mean, they're not giving up. I mean, they gave up a total of maybe a little over 100 yards rushing total. But we need to work
I
on our
don't even think it
secondary.
was that. I think it was less than 80.
Less than 80. We got 32, 29, 15, 2 and 1. So yeah, that quick Georgia math. That's not going. I'm not going. I'm going to give it a little bit of less than 100,
Yeah,
around 100. Hypothetically speaking, that's a big word too. But
yeah, they got yeah. That's what you call crap salute
yeah,
math right there. 79 yards total they had
yeah.
rushing.
So I mean, that was it's coming to where I think we're scoring points. But now our defense is kind of like, and I don't want to just hang it on the secondary, you know what I mean?
Oh,
But
but I
our,
will. I
oh
will.
yeah,
We'll get into that now. Like I said, don't give too much away. We gotta
yeah.
fill an hour. We ain't been on but 6 minutes. You say 8 minutes.
Wait a minute.
What the hell? Well, I would hate to have you for my surgeon. You be trying to cut me open before the anesthesia hold in. I'm like,
Yeah,
doctor, I don't think this is supposed to be. You
just
told me
give
to
me some
count
of the
from
fight on,
100.
man.
You told me to count to 100. You start cutting on me when I get to 97. What the hell?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm happy about the score. But yeah, I mean, I'm with you though. Defense is struggling. Defense is struggling. But yeah, we can talk about the rushing or the running on our offense as well. But
Well, you know what? I would just go ahead and jump right on into it. Let's ask the question: what the hell is really going on in Athens, man? Like, it's. I mean, I know there've been rumor has it that there was a couple of national championships won, and a lot of our guys went off to the draft as a result. Nothing breeds NFL scouts looking at your players than you manifesting this ridiculous run of regular season wins and
yeah,
back national championships and things of that nature. But now I think the honeymoon phase of those national championships is starting to wear off. And instead of the 7 year itch, we got the 2 year itch. I mean, some good things happened, but we're gonna talk about it. We're definitely gonna talk about it. And you touched on it, man. You went somewhere that I wanted to go with that I definitely wanted to talk about. Uh Dalen Everett. Dalen Everett. You put him like if you want somebody for a safe, you want somebody for a DB blitz,
mm,
he's the guy. He's coming in there, he's putting pad on pad. If he catches it, look, he'll bite your ankle off rather than let you get that extra yard.
right,
But he is consistently he's getting torched. Like he can't if you get by him, he can't get back there and defend. He can't
right,
get back there and defend that pass.
right.
And I mean, dude, we're getting ready to play Texas next week.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah,
Texas is the number one team in the country for a reason. Their quarterback came back with 2 weeks worth of rust on and still hung 34 on Oklahoma. Now, I'm not to take anything away from that win. We see what's going on. We see what's going on down the road in Norman. People are already calling for people's heads and things like that. And
yeah,
it's a big mess down there. But he came back with 2 weeks worth of rust and hung 34. And he said in the press conference he was going to work on it and be a little bit more be more determined and more focused. Like if that's unfocused Quinn Ewers,
yeah,
and we go
yeah,
into Austin against a focused Quinn Ewers, that's
yeah,
trouble, bro.
yeah. I hear you.
It, trouble in River City with a capital T, and that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it begs the question. Like you kind of touched on it, but I mean, like the honeymoon phase, the 7 year, that kind of stuff. Do you think like the players came into this thing thinking they were just going to run the show? You think that it was just going to be like, hey, we're we're Georgia. We back-to-back national championships, almost almost made the playoffs, or whatever, haven't got champ, whatever you want to say about the playoffs last year. We could have done this, that, and other thing. Do you think it's in the players' heads? I mean, like, it didn't help the matter when we got rah and old boy, doing some stupid stuff off the field.
God, I don't
And then,
look. I hate talking about it. That has become the running joke now, man.
yeah,
That is
of course,
that you as a fan of a team that you have rooted for your entire life, and you have waited for 40 years for the team to win a national championship. Always a
right,
bride, never a bride. You win a national championship, and then you turn around and win a second national championship. You want to
right,
be able to enjoy and savor the moment. You know what I mean? It's not going to last forever, but you want
yeah,
to be able to savor the moment. And then even with going as far as the SEC championship last year, you want to
yeah,
be able to savor the moment. But all people can talk about is, oh, another player got caught speeding. Oh, another player got caught shoplifting. And now
yeah.
there's this whole thing with Colby Young, which I don't even want to really, I
Mm,
don't even want to give that any airtime. If you want to find out what happened with him, you just have to look that up for yourself. But that young man has gotten himself in quite a mess. And, I don't want to take anything away from, I don't want to take anything away from the situation and those who wound up not benefiting from that situation. But on this side of the fence, he was a big contributor to the offense, and now he's not. And now he's not going to be there
right. Yeah. I mean, that's
over
why we
over
reached out and
over
got him
some.
from the portal. I mean, those two guys were, pretty much they were slated to be our starters, like Rah Rah, and
Right.
then actually, Kobe took the place of Rah Rah when he got suspended. Then I mean, I'll be damned. What happened?
Yeah.
He
Uh,
got
yeah. Shouts out to our guy Kevin Murrow. Hey, hope springs eternal, right? He says he thinks we're going to beat Texas. You know what? I hope so. I sincerely hope so. Because my friend, you know what they're thinking in Texas right now, don't you? You know what they're thinking in Austin right now.
We're back.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I look at it like Alabama, and I look like that Alabama game. It's going to be a good game, I think. I mean, we need to step up, man. Just that's all there is to it. We just need to step up on
Yeah. Here's something pretty prophetic right here. Problem with winning, it's like a drug. Once you taste it, you're always searching for that same thing, and anything less is failure. I mean,
it. Mhm.
folks, right? If you don't believe me, and again, Sean hit it on the head.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guy
Mhm.
Sean Spencer, the guy that started the show that led to all the other auxiliary shows, which led to this show coming into existence. Real good dude. He's got a whole rack of shows. All you have to do is just go on YouTube and type in Sean Spencer, and he's got
Mhm.
shows for days. My man's got more Showtime logged than Shay Shay since he left Undisputed. I'm just saying. And that's
Yeah, it does.
almost not an exaggeration. Uh,
No.
but yeah, I mean, you got folks in Alabama right now going, man, I don't know if the board was a good hire. Man, I don't know if they could
Yeah.
win without Nick Saban. Like, you had a couple of close games, but you still won. Now, I'm pretty sure there's somebody that is an Alabama Crimson Tide podcaster that is saying the exact same thing on their podcast this week when we said a couple of years ago, trust the process.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta
Yeah.
y'all gotta y'all gotta trust the man. He's a first year coach. Hell, y'all, you got one loss. You got one loss. And let's be honest, Vanderbilt is better than we thought they were going to be this season by a lot. So
Right.
just
Right. And
just calm down.
this is something for them to, like, to be harping on what kind of t-shirt the man's wearing on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. I mean, really, really. I'm like, I mean, is that what you're gonna grab about? But I digress. But I'm saying, like, they still won the game or winning the games.
Yeah.
They getting their I mean, they
Big for their
getting
britches.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Getting big for their britches. Well, I'm gonna tell you what our biggest problem was. Now I'm gonna run this by you. You're playing another team in a game of football. You scored just enough to hold them off. Just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you come out, You open the throttle in the second quarter, and you just keep going. And then you put the nail in the car. You put what should be the nail in the coffin in the third quarter. You should be able to really just coast, right?
Should be.
Should be. Wasn't the case on Saturday, was it, dog fans? Just when we thought it was almost like who was the wrestler that used to do the thing when he was almost dead and the ref would raise his hand and do that, and then he would raise it. Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah.
Where Hogan, you think Hogan was out from the sleeper, and then he go.
Yeah.
That was Mississippi State waking up from that sleeper hole. Mississippi State. There's no reason why we should have gone touchdown for touchdown with Mississippi State. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, remember that guy? Ooh, what was that kid's name? The one you said, the quarterback, the one with the name like the president. I'm being silly. I know exactly what his name is, Michael Van Buren. But Michael Van Buren threw for 306 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. And he was 5 for 15 on rushing. So I mean, it says a lot about our secondary. I mean, like honestly, if he's got that kind of yardage, I mean, and you look at Beck. I mean, like Beck had 459 on on the other side of that.
Well, he had to. We got no running attack.
That's exactly right, and that's what. See, what did I tell you before? What we'd agreed on. Honestly, we got to score points, but we got to stop the other team from scoring. I mean, that's the kind of things we had. With
that's the formula. Score
more
more points than the other team. Keep the other team from scoring.
Yeah.
He had to keep throwing the ball. We had no running attack whatsoever. How much was it? I said our leading rusher was a wide receiver. Not Travis Etienne, not Nate Frazier, not Muscles. I've come to pump you up. I cannot run very fast because, I have too many muscles. Yeah, that's what I am doing. Get it. Do it now. Give me the ball now. Yeah, give it to me now. Get away before I fall over.
Get to the chopper. Sorry.
Get to the chopper. Come on, do it. Kill me now.
But yes, I mean.
It was a wide receiver, Anthony Evans III, 1 carry for 52 yards. And that was the longest run by anybody all day with them 3 running backs.
Yeah.
What were you trying to pad his stats for the Heisman? He ain't getting a Heisman.
Dude, the Heisman conversation is all.
The Heisman conversation that ship sailed.
Oh, it's gone.
After the performance we put on against Alabama, that ship sailed.
Exactly.
The way that we start slow every first and second quarter, that ship sailed. He is now throwing almost 1 interception per game now.
Yeah, that's right. I was gonna mention that. Yeah, he's got 2 picks. I mean, like it's we can't afford to get. I mean, like against Alabama, we gave a spot on 28 points. We can't do that. I mean, there's no way that we can do that and end up winning ball games. I mean, like, why do we insist on playing from behind? It doesn't make sense to me.
But I mean, maybe the offensive coordinator has a juvenile fetish. Juvenile had a song about backing something up, something like that. Mack truck or U-Haul or something like that. But anyway, I mean, just for frame of reference, that kid threw for 306 yards against us. He played against Texas. The week 2 weeks before that, he played against Texas and threw for 144 yards. The week before that, he played against Florida and threw for 100 yards. So you mean to tell me Florida's secondary is better than ours?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me back up before I go too deep. That was a game where he came in to replace the starting quarterback because the starting quarterback hurt his shoulder. So let me back that up. But still, you mean to tell me that our secondary is just that? Or I mean, hell, who knows? Maybe the kid is that good. But our secondary got exposed 8 ways from Sunday. There were 3 long passing plays in the second half, one of which was a touchdown for no good reason.
Yeah.
And that is a big part. Secondary's got to get it together. The other problem is, do we know how to tackle?
Oh yeah.
Open field tackling. It's become a thing that I'm doing a lot of talking. I gotta hand this back over to you. But we're doing this thing where if the guy at the front 7 don't make contact within the first 2 yards, they're gonna get 7 to 10 yards out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. What are you thinking about it?
Well, no, I mean, I agree with you. That's always been our Achilles heel is not wrapping up. I mean, like it's just been something where
It's been Nick Cannon. Yo, bro, you joking? That's been Nick Cannon's Achilles heel too. Did I say something out loud? Go ahead, continue. My bad.
but if we crash the line, I mean, like honestly, there's just so many things that I think that that are our Achilles heel. It's just like we can't we hit say around the corner. I mean, if we make contact, we need to wrap it up or wrap them up, and it seems like we're just bouncing off. And the I guess the runners or whoever has the ball is just too elusive, and we just slip through. I don't know. I have no like answer for that, and it seems to be in our Achilles heel. And but it seems to me though. The question to you is like honestly, I haven't seen us rush that much, like blitz wise. I mean,
No.
I don't think we have blitzed as nearly as much as we have in the past. Like I mean, I may be wrong.
But do we have a
But then
dominant?
again,
Do we have a dominant pass rusher like we've had in years past? We don't have, Jalen's gone, Big Baby's gone, Nolan Smith is gone, N'Kobe Dean is gone. Where is that dominant player to step up and fill those shoes?
that's a good point. But I'm saying, like, even if probably why we haven't been doing that is it exposes the secondary, which we can't afford anymore.
I think he gets it. Yeah, and this is we're getting ready to go to Austin. We're getting ready to go into hostile territory. Okay, and then I'm looking at the rushing yards. The Mississippi State's leading rusher after Mississippi State's leading rusher.
Oh yeah,
They are 1-5. Their leading rusher has 262 yards all season. And that's the team that we let run up and down the field on us this past Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, those of you that are commenting in the comment section, we appreciate you greatly. We appreciate you greatly. We'll be right back. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a break. Y'all don't go nowhere. And we are back. I think we're back.
All right, Sean. Here you go. There you go. See if I can get it out to the side. There you go. See, we got the party.
Oh man, business in the front, party in the back. You growing out the mully, my friend. The Saturday night special, boy. You gonna be killing them at Finnegan's this weekend, boy.
Oh yeah.
Man, look, Isaiah Bond is gonna have a field day, bro. I mean, Texas doesn't have a whole lot of they don't have a running back with a whole lot of yards, but they're going to have an absolute field day with us if we don't get it right.
If we don't get it right,
their top six receivers are averaging between 12 to 22 yards per reception. That's chunks of field. So what is we gonna do?
What is we gonna do? I think we just said it. we got to score more points than they do. That's it. But no, just
Kevin makes a very good point. There really isn't a team that's just like a standout team that's running over everybody. I mean, we thought it was going to be Bama, and then we found out Bama could be beaten. by, let me see. This is my best Uncle Lou. This is my best Uncle Lou impersonation. By Vandy. That's exactly how he says Vanderbilt every time he says it. Vandy. I mean, my God.
Hey, I mean, not to get off them. I mean, like, look what they did this weekend. I mean, like, Vandy showed up.
Vandy has been showing out big time this season.
Yes, sir.
I like it. I like it a lot. I am sincerely happy for them. Yes, Sean, for a little brother. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and say it before you put it in the comments. Seriously, what are we gonna do, man? I mean, you can't just goof around with these. Texas is not the team to goof around with. Now, all things being considered, and how crazy, absolutely nuts this season has been all the way across the board, there's a strong possibility we go to Austin as a dog and come out with a W.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it all depends on what team gets on that bus. I'm just saying, like, I don't think we have that many.
Well, as long as none of the players are driving the bus, they won't get a ticket on the way to the Austin.
I
said it out loud. Get your stuff together.
Beck needs to get a plane, just load everybody up, and we'll fly to friendly skies over there.
Oh.
But, no, I mean, it's. I don't know. It just depends. I don't think we have any notable injuries for this game. We didn't have anybody.
No, we don't have any notable injuries, but half our players are being interrogated by the Clark County Police Department right now.
Well, this is true, but I'm saying, nobody got hurt.
I said it again. Get your stuff together.
Going back to what I think Sean
said. That's a bar. Hold on. I had to hit that on that. Okay, go ahead. My bad.
No, I was saying, like Sean said in the comments, like, was Kirby going to get reprimanded or whatever for that him pushing Van Buren? He's already talked about that. I guess he said in the press conference that he talked to the coach. He talked to Van Buren. He said he didn't even realize he was trying to get to his coach, and he didn't even realize it was Van Buren. But I mean, that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Kirby Smart. I don't address Kirby Smart directly very often. Kirby Smart, your coach was probably wearing a shirt and a visor or a ball cap and a headset. Van Buren was wearing body armor and looking like Baby Bane out there.
Yeah, he was white in a white jersey.
In a white jersey. I don't know how that's like saying you mistook me for Collin.
Hey, we're two pretty good looking. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, I'm wearing red, he wearing gray. Shut up. What you think I meant, man? 60 years, we should be doing better than that. I'm just saying, I'm wearing a different color shirt than you. Anyway, hi, those of you that welcome to on a special edition of This Weekend
Brother from another
football.
Brother from another.
I'm uncomfortable.
Oh no.
Oh man, no, seriously. But the commissioner came out and said that he didn't see any cause for reprimanding Kirby Smart. He came out earlier today and said that. Do I think that Kirby got a little I think seriously he needs to his doctor needs to check his vinegar levels because Kirby is full of piss and vinegar all the time.
He has been lately. That is absolutely positively true. Yep. If you haven't seen it, I mean, notice it. You ain't looking because I mean, his press conferences is, just I think the team is just. I mean, like I don't know if it's. I mean, he's getting frustrated. He's getting rattled with what's going on. I guess the attitudes of the players, maybe. I mean, I don't know. We see what we see, and that's all we see. But I mean, there could be some other stuff going on. But yeah, you're right. Though. You can definitely see it.
Look, it could be worse. He could be Kalen DeBoer had to deal with that boy having a temper tantrum on the field. Last week.
Throwing his mouthpiece and then kicking the ball.
Wait a minute, but there was more to that I missed. So the defensive coordinator went to sub a player in, and old boy said, "No, I'm not coming out. You go back on the sideline." So then the head coach was like,
"You out.
Come off the field." And he told the coach that he said to the coach that he wasn't leaving the field because he wasn't getting off the field. That's supposed to be the censor. It comes in slow. But he cussed the coach. He cussed the coach out. You know who that would not have happened up under?
Yeah. The guy that was there.
The Honorable Nicholas X.
Yes, sir. He was not
The
there.
Honorable Nicholas X would have terminated his scholarship and sent him home packing with all his belongings in some cardboard boxes. And I hope you got all your NIL money, son, because you ain't playing for me no more.
If you got cash in that bag along with your clothes, because you leaving.
For real. But that's a lot of what I think. I honestly, I think that's a lot of what these coaches are dealing with now.
Yeah,
Especially now, since these kids are able to make their own money.
I mean, that's the thing with the NFL, though. I mean, like that's kind of my issue with. Not to get off kilter, but that's my issue with loving. I like college a lot more than NFL because NFL you made it to the next level and you get paid all these millions of dollars and everything, and so that kind of gives you, depending on who you are, the player is, it gives you the mentality like I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid regardless. I'm gonna do what I want to do when I want to do it. And you can
Right.
understand, and that seems
Right.
like that's what these players in college are thinking as well.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah.
But,
to walk this thing back away from that, one of the biggest things that is going on that besides the fact that the run game at Georgia has become almost non-existent for the first time in ages ever.
Yeah.
Like Georgia's always had some kind of running back, even if the team was not doing well. There's always been somebody coming out of that backfield that was going to put them shoulder pads on you and drop at least 90, 100 on you several times a year. But where else we're short? Lad McConkey, Brock Bowers. We miss you guys
Yes,
a
sir.
lot. We do. Oscar Delp ain't getting it done. I don't know why. Oscar Delp's not getting it done. I don't know why. I don't know why he's not even part of the schemes. Arian Smith is a phenomenal athlete. He's more than likely the fastest guy on the team.
Right.
He can make an incredible catch out of nowhere that looked like there's no way he was going to be able to catch it with three defenders hanging on him and one trying to pull off his chin strap. And then he will be wide open, streaking down the post, and the ball will hit him in the hands and drop it.
Yep.
He drops as many wide open passes as he catches. That is a liability against Texas.
Yep.
Oh God, what's the other boy? Dylan Bell.
Yeah.
Dylan Bell. Another baller. We got two ballers. But Aaron
D-Lo is the last one left from not last one, but I mean one of the few ones left from the portal. Well, we got London Humphreys. He stepped back in like we had talked about earlier.
But it's like, but you don't see. But here's the thing: do you really see the ball getting spread around that much? Like this is what I heard during the game: Dylan Bell, Aaron Smith, Cash Jones. Dylan Bell, Aaron Smith, Cash Jones. I know there were some other players that had receiving yards, but those were the go-to guys.
Yeah, I mean, well, you look at Etienne had 6 receptions. I mean, I'm going to just go down the list. 6 receptions for Etienne, and Evans 4 looks. D-Lo 5, Dylan Bell 5, and Arian 5. So I mean, then the rest of them have 1 and 2s and 3s. But Dell had 28. So I mean, yeah, to your point. I mean,
if you're
but not really. I mean, like as we used to be,
Yeah, I'm sorry if you are my heir apparent to the throne at tight end or wide receiver. If my quarterback gets the ball to you and it hits you in the hands, you need to catch it. That's just how things go. That's the nature of the beast. You cannot advance the ball if you do not catch the ball.
Yeah,
that is the basic passing football basic football passing strategy 101. If you do not catch the ball, you cannot advance the ball.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a clip.
And that's kind of like going like you will not win the game unless you have more points than the other team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like how like, and that brings me back to this whole like it's not okay. For us, now, those of you that are Georgia fans that are watching going, I thought these guys are diehard fans. We are. We are not saying they're a horrible team. It is just that there's a lot of good that happened. For example, Beck passed for over 400 yards and 459 yards. But he had
a big butt on that.
He had 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
459 yards, and all you got is 3 touchdowns out of that. You got, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for the 3 touchdowns because that's without that 21 points, we would have lost 31-20, which would have really, they would have strung up Kirby by his shoelaces. Seriously, I mean, Mississippi State came in this game 1-4. Georgia is not a bad team, as Mr. Spencer would say. Look at who else is there anybody else in the SEC putting up those kind of numbers? Not a lot of people. Is there anybody else in the SEC with I forgot what else? And Sean and I have these conversations all the time. Like Georgia is a good team. Georgia, I think is still a top 10 team. However, the mistakes that we see are mistakes that will lead to a loss. I don't know why I got stuck on that. That's sometimes it's hard for me. Look, we've been winning so much; it's hard for me to say that word anymore.
Yeah,
but it will lead to a loss at a time when you can't afford one. Like maybe in the conference championship, like maybe in the bowl game for the opportunity to get to the CFP. Which reminds me that's something I'm gonna touch on a little bit later if I can remember. But I'm gonna hand it back to you, man. What do you think?
No, I agree. I mean, like it's what happened, with us in Alabama having that loss, early. That is one of the better things that I can say about having that loss against Alabama. But I mean, instead of handing them 28 points and having to come back from that and almost winning that game, that showed me some resilience and a lot of good things, from the team coming back for where they were, like how much they were down. But then again, it's just it seems like you could learn off of things like that. Like we should know, in my opinion, we should know where our shortcomings are. We should be able to fix those things, and it doesn't seem to me like they're actually. I mean, maybe
they're not getting fixed. They're not getting fixed, my friend. Exactly. And here's the thing: if we should know our shortcomings, if you think we should know our shortcomings, who else you think is well aware of our shortcomings?
Yeah,
that team down in Austin that we're going to see on Saturday.
No doubt. Yeah, no doubt.
They know they are going to look at film. They are going to go after. They're going to go after the weak side of the secondary. They're going to go after the weak side of the defensive line.
I think Beck is going to be running for his life. I think Beck is going to be running pretty much every snap.
Well, you know what happens when he gets to running.
Mm-hmm.
You get a pickle, and you get a pickle, and you get a pickle.
Well, that's when we need to get that running game straightened out. If we get that running game, they start, coming through the line.
Now,
I'm looking for some changes, though, man.
How about this? Is this a case where you and I are walking away from our own philosophy about trusting the process? Wouldn't it be something that Kirby was playing the rope-a-dope, and they showed up in Austin, and ATN ran for 100 and something, and Branson got at least 50, which would be a major accomplishment for him. Yeah, because he doesn't seem to be able to run the ball very well unless they're 5 yards away from the goal line. I said it on the show. On episode 9, I said it. That man can't run his way out of a paper bag if you anywhere outside of the opponent's 30-yard line, but you put him 5 yards in front of that goal line. Somebody must have told him it was a protein powder in the end zone or something. That boy like to work out. Yeah. Workout gains. Like, must get gains. Do it now. How?
It's like, you got them all. Why are you still here, man?
Yeah, you won. What are you doing? Thank you for calling T-Mobile.
Broken over, boss.
Take it up a check. Oh my God. that was a bar right there. That was insane. Oh my God. My ribs hurt, bro. My ribs legit hurt. So let's go ahead and throw these game predictions out. By the way, no Rev tonight. Rev decided that he was going to take a unscheduled sabbatical after the unsettling letter he got from the Italian sounding gentleman last week. So Rev is going to give us his game prediction tomorrow from an undisclosed location. He's going to send a message by carrier pigeon, and then I'm supposed to go somewhere in the city and pick it up. I got to play this weird game of Where's Waldo, but he told me to tell y'all that he's still the great bulldog god in the sky has got him covered. So he'll be making his prediction tomorrow. Just letting y'all know. And then I think that mustard. I think the cap to that mustard bottle scared the hell out of Rev. Is what that is.
That was not scripted. It was here. I had lunch today.
Oh my god! What are you doing with mustard? What are you doing with mustard in your workspace, bro?
I had lunch today, man. I work from home today.
You need to get you.
Excuse me, man.
You all right?
I don't know. I'll be all right.
Oh man, so we're gonna go ahead and give our game prediction. Sean, I know you're disappointed. Rev is not on today, but he'll be back. Yeah, you're right. London Humphreys, for real, for real. London is dope. But like I said, these guys all have to be incorporated. Like Brock Bowers got his the way that the offense was set up under Monken. Brock got his, Ladd got his, but then when people started keying up on them, then you had Big O. Then you had Big O, and you had all these other receivers. I mean, Arian Smith has been with the team for a while too. I think this is his last season of eligibility. You had Arian Smith. I think maybe Arian Smith's problem is he was used to being the guy. Never was the number one, and maybe there's some pressure that comes to being the number one now. I don't know. Sometimes you see that guys. There's some guys that are just much better in a backup role than as the guy. He can make catches. We've seen him do it.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
big plays.
I'm gonna let most of y'all in on a big secret or a big not so secret. George Pickens was never our number one receiver. He was just a decoy. He would just throw him out there to make some kind of circus catch every now and again, and then the defense seriously. Then the defense would tee up on him, and then that opened everybody else up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's think about it. The first year, the first national championship? Well, he was out like 90% of the season. Like he didn't come back till the last couple of games of the season. Like,
SEC championship.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Laid out for that beautiful.
Laid out for that catch. Or was that the national championship? I can't remember. It was one of the two. It was postseason. He didn't play all season. He got a couple of reps in the postseason.
Right. Exactly.
Anyway, so what you got for this, man? What's your score prediction?
Man, I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I mean, even looking at what they got, Vegas got him at we're Dawgs by 3.5, which ought to change. Over under 56.5. Let's go 42-35. Us. I'll keep it even. 42-35.
Well, we got Sean's prediction there, and then we got Kevin's prediction there. Georgia 35, Texas 7. He said Texas still hasn't played a good team. That is something to consider. Well,
yeah, that is something.
I mean, that's something to think about. You know, just like how we were talking about how great we were looking at Saturday, and Sean was like, "Who'd y'all play again?" And we were playing one of them cupcakes that we were beating up.
Yeah.
So this could legitimately be the first real test for Texas in the conference. So we'll see. But you know, we thought the same thing when we played Alabama. That defense, Kirby's got to tighten up that defense.
No,
got to. Oh, is it my turn to make a prediction?
Lay it down.
I got it. Well, I don't know. I got to set it down like it's lukewarm. I can't drop it like it's hot no more. I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be closer. I think it's gonna be like a last second score. If Georgia wins, it'll be a last second score, like a 40-37, either on a field goal or a go ahead touchdown. So that's I'm gonna say 40-37.
That sounds good.
Because it's good because you know you got Quinn who can sling it, and you got Carson who can sling it.
Yeah.
And we don't necessarily have any ball hawks back there in the secondary, but we got some guys.
We got Dan Jackson. Defense has actually he's been balling.
Action Jackson is quickly becoming my front runner for team MVP this season.
Yeah,
he's
scared. That's for sure.
He's been the only player that has really been consistently good every game I mean, it's not to say that you don't make mistakes, but he's been consistently good from game to game to game.
Correct.
So that's my midseason prediction for team MVP. So that's what we got for that game. Y'all keep your fingers crossed, Georgia fans. Those of you watching, we do appreciate you tuning in. This is This Week in UGA Football. I am Mr. Fingers. That right there is Collin P from the DMV, the brother from another. So we're gonna take another short break, and we will be right. That's not the one I wanted to play.
Well, that was a very short break.
And we're back. Hi, hello, everybody. Welcome back this week in UGA football. Mr. Fingers here, Collin P from the DMV over yonder. Man, we are getting into around the SEC. Let's talk about it, bro. So of course we've been talking about Texas, but of course we know what happened this past Saturday. They played in a neutral site game in Texas at the Cotton Bowl, and Oklahoma fans basically are already they've gone and they've bought torches and pitchforks. They're not ready to light them yet, but they're getting there.
Yeah.
34-3. It wasn't it wasn't even close. And I know 31 points is not close, but it was less close than that.
Yeah.
Quinn Ewers, okay, you have a quarterback come in and throw for 199 yards. You would expect that you would be able to potentially beat that quarterback. Not so
Right.
much.
Yeah, I was going through the stats and I was like, all right, so I saw the 199. I was like, well, where did they score all their points from?
They were just Oklahoma was.
And I don't see too many turnovers on their side either. I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch the whole game. That's why
Short
I'm saying.
field.
Yeah, short field. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
They had a lot of short field, man.
3 and outs and 3 and outs and 3 and outs and 3 and outs.
Yeah, a lot of it. And I mean, even a missed field goal. And you literally, I was listening to the game on the radio because I was in the car running around. You could on the radio, you could hear the air go out of some of the Oklahoma fans. You could just hear them go, oh.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it got bad. It got bad and it got bad quickly. Because Texas, Quinn Ewers shook off the rust and dumped 21 on them in the second quarter, and they were just in cruise control for the rest of the game. All they had to do was just hold their hand out. Now, that is not to say that I start to say Big 12. Lord, they're in the SEC. I think at this point, Oklahoma is pretty much eliminated from contention. They are 1-2 in the conference. There's no way they're making it to conference championship. They might be able to salvage something if they go 10-2 and make a good strong push.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be honest. Do you see it happening?
I was just looking at the next games they got here. Let's see who they got. They got South Carolina, Ole Miss, Maine, Missouri, and Alabama and LSU. So LSU's a loss, Bama's a loss. Missouri, I'm not certain. I mean, that could be potentially be a loss. Ole Miss, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, they're pretty much done because I mean they're gonna at least have four losses in conference.
And Maine, and no telling, Maine might be a loss too because they struggled with Tulane.
Yeah, very true.
They struggled to get it going against Tulane.
Yeah. Yep.
So we'll see. As far as Missouri is concerned, it probably depends on which Missouri team shows up.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't see much of a future in making. I don't except for very, very, very delusional Oklahoma fans, the ones that were all over the internet going, "We're taking over the SEC. We're coming in to take over."
Yeah.
Uh, I don't mean to hurt. I don't mean to hurt the folks that wanted something big this season. Don't see it happening. Don't see it happening.
No,
Meanwhile,
well, it's gonna take a while. I mean,
yeah,
it should have been. It's gonna take at least a year or two. I mean, probably more. I mean, like just going coming in the SEC thinking gonna run the show is kind of a far fetched. Ain't gonna happen.
biggest obstacle they're facing really is the fact that they had a quarterback, a coach that coached up one, two, three. They coached up some Heisman Trophy winners back to back to back, and won some conference titles, and had them in the running for potentially going to the playoffs. And didn't work out that way. Now on the Texas side, they've got us coming to town next week. They play a very scrappy Vanderbilt
Mm-hmm.
the week after. Then they take on the Gators. Arkansas. Who knows where Arkansas will be sitting when they face Arkansas? Remember, Arkansas crushed the dream for somebody earlier this season.
Yes, it
Uh,
is.
they've got a tougher than their record indicates Kentucky. They're tough to play.
Yeah.
They're tough to play. Their record doesn't say it, but they're tough to play. And then, of course, the top of the conference, Texas A&M Longhorns. Now, will they still be not Longhorns, Aggies? They will be. Will they still be undefeated in the conference when that rolls around? We shall see. So that's what Texas has on deck. Realistically speaking, the way I'm looking at it, if Georgia doesn't get it done, they could run the table.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, right this moment, this week, before all the games are played, they are probably the best team in the country. Yeah, like I said, before all the games are played, because who knows what's gonna happen on Saturday. Um, week to week. Let's keep going through these scores here. Um, we know about Mississippi State, Georgia. Heartbreaking loss. Speaking of Alabama, heartbreaking loss. Dude, I was all in on this game. I wanted to see USC Junior pull out that win.
Yeah,
I really did.
me
And
too.
I thought they were going to get it done, and I guess maybe it was just the pressure and the bright lights. Even though it was
Well,
a daytime game, that was a hell of a game. South Carolina played, except for those last couple of sequences, they couldn't have played the better perfect game in order to beat Alabama.
yeah, exactly. And you got they were all over Milrow like the secondary. I mean, they made him make 2 picks, made him have 2 picks, and their DBs their bodies were flying, and that's definitely for a fact.
Oh yeah,
So,
he wasn't even the leading passer in the game, and that doesn't happen very often.
no, it's true.
So, yep. So Alabama's road to potential CFP greatness. This coming week, they are at Neyland Stadium to take on the Rocky Tops. Need to get these, and please beware of mustard bottles. The following week, they are at home against Missouri. Then they travel to Death Valley to take on them. They're Tiger with the boss. Hey, boy, yeah, boy, man, that nigga, let the ball, that boy, Milrow, them boy, good out there. Boy, go Tigers. That's what you got. And then they got a
Mercer.
they got a cupcake against Mercer, and then they come to Norman on the
That could be.
23rd. So they could. I see. I'm gonna talk about Tennessee in a second. LSU is probably where I see the problem for them, depending on where LSU is when they roll around.
Yeah, I can agree there because I mean they looked awesome this weekend. We'll get to that in a
Yeah,
minute.
and I'm gonna tell you what, Alabama has shown some chinks in the armor since the Georgia game.
It's us. Yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about. Like, did we affect them in any
The loss to Vanderbilt, and then they almost lost to South Carolina. They have shown some chinks in the armor, so we'll see where that gets them. Now, as far as South Carolina, Oh yeah, and the pride of South Carolina, who started out here in Oklahoma, Mister oh Lord, Spencer Rattler got his, I believe, was his first start in the NFL action yesterday as a New
Yeah.
Orleans Saint. Had a good game, fell short, but you work with what you work with. Let's see here. As far as South Carolina is concerned, South Carolina is 3-3, 1-3 in the conference. No real shot at getting into the CFP, or well, I won't say getting into the CFP, but no shot at conference championship. They would have to win out, and they have, after Alabama, they have Oklahoma, which is definitely. I'm going to go ahead and say that's a win.
Yeah, I
Texas
agree with that.
A&M. I hate to say it. Sorry, Sooner fans. Um, Texas A&M, that one's going to be tough. Vanderbilt, that one, they're two scrappy teams. That's going to be a good game. Mark your calendars. November 9th, that's going to be a hell of a game. South Carolina versus Vanderbilt. Missouri, that could be a win. And then they got a cupcake in Wofford, and then they got Clemson. That's potentially dangerous. So we'll see. They
Yeah.
could at least. I think they will. I think they'll figure out a way to get a bowl game. That's as far as I'm going to go with them.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So let's see. Ole Miss and LSU.
That was a
Ole
great
Miss
game.
and LSU. LSU comes up big. Old Lane, get your popcorn ready. Kiffin now with 2 losses in the SEC. There goes pretty much their shot at. I mean, unless it turns into Wild Wild West in the next 7 weeks, they're pretty much out of the running for conference championship.
Yeah.
What say you?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Nussmeier played lights out.
And don't forget, we still got them though. I mean, we got. See the rest of the games they got. They got Oklahoma, Arkansas, us, and Florida and Mississippi State. So, of those 5, I would go along with what you were saying, man. Depending on what Arkansas team shows up, they may have trouble with them.
Yeah,
I hope we get it.
Yeah, Oklahoma's a win. Arkansas is a maybe.
Yeah.
Because they lost to Kentucky. Arkansas, so we can't really write off Arkansas as a win for Ole Miss. Then they got us on the 9th. They've got Florida the week after, Mississippi State. So potentially I see them going 1, 2, 3-2 in those last 5 games. 3-2, which would put them at 8-4. They could prove me wrong. Just, that's what I'm looking at right now. Let's see what else we got here. Missouri and Massachusetts. What's your take on that? Oh, they beat UMass. I'm sorry. I'm looking at like it was Mississippi State's colors. They beat UMass. Big whoop. 45. Hey, Sean Spencer. Who'd they play? Yeah. They did what they were supposed. They did what they were supposed to do. I'm not really
thought they were.
I mean, you're supposed to win that game, but I'm not gonna, pat them on the back or anything. They still, they're 5-1, so they still have a shot at maybe getting to the conference championship. But they got.
Yeah.
It depends on how. Well, I mean, they've only got 1 conference loss.
Yep, but they've only played 2 games. So.
Yeah, well, they will have played enough by the time the season is over because it is all SEC. It is an all SEC stretch. They got Auburn next week, this coming weekend. That should be a win. They got Bama. They got Oklahoma after that. That should be a win. They got South Carolina. That's probably going to be a good game. They got Mississippi State, and then they got Arkansas. So they're probably going to run up on. Well, actually, Mississippi State might be good too. They're going to run up on. Mississippi State, Arkansas, South Carolina, I see those being scraps. Like they're gonna scrap. Bama, they're definitely going to scrap. Auburn and Oklahoma. I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna give them those 2. I'm gonna give them those 2 right there. Auburn and Oklahoma. I'm gonna give them those 2. So that would put them at off top. That would put them at 7-1, and then. They will get at least 2 out of the other 4. Yeah. But they got murderers. I won't say murderers row, but they got 6 conference games to close out the schedule. That's tough. That's tough by any standard.
Yeah, I can definitely agree there.
Vanderbilt, Kentucky. What you got?
Bro, I mean, like it's Vandy, baby. I mean, little brother's invited to the cookout and then to the party.
Oh, little brother's always been invited to the cookout.
Yeah, he's got to make a name for himself, though. Ain't nobody like kicking him around anymore. He's kicking everybody around himself.
Hey, you know our guy Matt Mitchell has to be having a lot of fun being able to feature. Matt Mitchell and SEC Shorts are having a lot of fun being able to feature
I dig
Vanderbilt.
that guy in the king cloak and the crown. I'm loving it with the glasses on. Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed.
They couldn't pick a better guy to play that guy either.
100%. I mean, they didn't lead in any of the categories, passing, rushing, and receptions, but they led in the one that mattered most. Points scored at the end of the game. Big hip hip hurrah to little brother Vanderbilt. They are now 4-2. All they got to do is win 2 more games to be bowl eligible, my guy. Chew on that for a minute.
Yes, sir.
Vanderbilt to be bowl eligible before the end of the season. Watch out there now. Okay, and then I skipped over one because I wanted to come back to this one. Florida, Tennessee. What is Tennessee doing? Because Tennessee barely won that game. And when I say barely, I mean barely.
Yeah. I got nothing.
Nico had no touchdowns, did not throw for more than 170 yards. And he's supposed to be the next coming of, well, to let Tennessee fans say it, every incoming quarterback is the next coming of Baby Big Head. So I said it. I said it right here on this show. I said it. That man head get bigger, and don't try to tell me nothing about his hairline receding. His hairline never was proceeding. What you talk about? I said it. So Tennessee in a struggle bus win against Florida, but real talk though, Florida is even out when they got 2 losses in the SEC. My eyes weren't focused quite. I was getting ready to say they got a winning record. No, they don't. They're at 500 right now. But even still, that's better than we expected from Florida. So Tennessee. Tennessee got murderers row on the backside, except for UTEP. They play UTEP on the 23rd, but they've got Bama next week in Tuscaloosa. They got Kentucky, who has been scrappy, in Kentucky. They got Mississippi State, who apparently all the teams that haven't been playing quite so hot, all they got to do is play Georgia, and then it activates their powers of Jinsu or whatever the term is on the anime. They activate the powers of the great katana blade. So that might be a scrap. They play at Georgia, and then they play at Vanderbilt. That looks like a little bit of a run there, man. That looks like a tough run.
That looks like a tough run to me too. Like that'd be awesome. They got 3 games at home, like Alabama, Kentucky, and not at home, away. Wow. No, that's at home. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. That's a tough run. And then you got UTEP right before Vanderbilt. That's going to be a huge game, I think. Tennessee Vanderbilt, the way the Vanderbilt's playing right now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's getting done. You got to show up. You got to play. And you got to have more points than your opponent at the end of the game. Plain and simple.
Yep.
Plain and simple. Bruh, could you see though? Real talk. Tennessee and Vanderbilt. At Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt closes out an absolutely amazing season by beating the Tennessee Volunteers in their home stadium. Could you see the Panama? They would have to listen. They're just gonna have to buy. They're gonna have to buy like 2 or 3 more sets of goalposts.
I was gonna say I got it. I mean, I'm kind of trying to figure out. I mean, are they gonna have some more goalposts at the same river? I mean, how many goalposts are they gonna have?
Well, that's the same goalpost though, man. They had to go fish them out of the river.
Yeah,
it's like I said. It's like I said, it was some old lady that sounded like my grandma talking about, baby, you got to take that out the river and wash that off. I ain't got but one good set.
Yeah. Or you can do like Vanderbilt and start selling memorabilia and recoup your money.
Right. So, really quickly, we have run the gamut for the day, but I wanted to run this by you, man. And I meant to send it to you so you could look at it. And I pulled it up right before the show because I remembered I had it. You got your phone?
Yeah.
You got your phone. I'm gonna send it to you. I want you to look at this thing here. So apparently, it's that time of year since we're about halfway through the season, and the projections are already out.
I've got something I'm looking at right now for the chance to win a national title, All-State Playoff Predictor. I don't know that's what you got, but I got it on television.
No, I'm sending. It's just this is the pre-seed. This is the projections for. This is the projections for the 12-team playoff.
Gotcha. Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So right now, here's what we've got. Let me check the date on this before I even start reading off of it. Oh no, this was just posted less than 24 hours ago. So I'm gonna start at the bottom and work my way up. Oh, let me start with the bubble teams and then I'll work my way up. SMU, Pitt, Illinois, Michigan, Indiana, and Missouri. We'll come back to that in a minute, Sean. Ole Miss, BYU, Texas A&M, Iowa State, and Tennessee. They're on bubble watch right now. These are teams that they say are on the bubble at the end of this week. Okay? Now, the next 12 teams I'm about to read you is where they're projecting right now at the end of this past week of football. At number 12, Boise State. Right now, the way Boise State is looking, that is a big duh. Boise State is that boy is insane. He might break Barry Sanders' record. Number 11, Notre Dame. Number 10, LSU. Number 9, Clemson. I got lost for a second. Number 8, Alabama. Number 7, Penn State. Number 6, Georgia. Number 5, Ohio State. And then the next 4 are the projected conference champions. They are projecting that Kansas State will win the Big 12, Miami will win the ACC, Oregon will win the Big 10, and Texas will win the SEC championship. So that's what they're projecting.
So on the flip to that, I was going to throw a little chances to win what they got up here. They've got Texas chances to win the national title. Texas at 32%, Ohio State at 18%, Alabama 9%, Georgia 8%, Penn State 5%, Oregon 5%, and Miami 4%. So obviously everybody's picking Texas to win it all. But I found that kind of interesting. They got us on the SEC network right now.
Yeah, that is. Yep. Hey, Mr. Spencer, I'm right along with you, sir. That guy is an absolute beast with multiple E's. Ashton Genty, he's ridiculous. Who now to answer the earlier question? Who is in our SEC championship? That is a good question. The beginning of the season. At the beginning of the season, before a single game was played, I would have said it's a toss up between Georgia, Ole Miss. Georgia, Texas, and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, Texas is still in there. Alabama, Georgia, I'm shaky on just because Georgia's got inconsistencies, and there is a potential to drop a game in there. We are playing Texas next week. We still got Ole Miss on the schedule. Who knows? So that leaves, that leaves Alabama, and I think Alabama's still a little, they're still suffering a little. Not to make light of this condition, because I have several battle buddies that suffer from it, but they're suffering from Vanderbilt PTSD. I think they're still shook from losing to Vanderbilt.
Right.
So I think we'll see. So right now, I'm definitely got Texas in there. Let me see. Let me pull up. Who is Texas A&M playing left? Who's the Aggies have left to play? I got it right here. Okay, so here's what they got left. They are playing Mississippi State this weekend. I think that'll be a win. They're playing LSU this weekend. Ooh, that's a tough one. That could be a loss. That could be a loss. They're playing South Carolina. They're playing New Mexico State. They're playing Auburn, and they're playing Texas. Okay, seeing that schedule, and I'm basing this right now off of what I know from what I have seen through this part of the season. I'm sticking with Texas, and wow. I wonder how they're going to determine if they have multiple one-loss teams. That's another question. Since they eliminated divisions, how do they determine one loss? If they have multiple one-loss teams, who goes?
I mean, I don't know. Will they do this strength of schedule stuff, or I mean, obviously you go head to head, but I mean, if you're not head to head, then what's the next?
Because we don't. I don't think we don't play A&M this year. So we can't go head to head with them. We play LSU. That could be the determining factor. Like if we beat LSU and LSU beats Texas A&M, like if we run the table, then we would have the head to head because we would have defeated LSU and they did not. Yeah. So, but
I mean, I can agree with Sean. I mean, depending on, like, if we don't turn things around, like you and I both have said, I mean, Texas LSU might be a good pick for the championship. I mean, if we don't turn ourselves around.
Yeah, to be completely honest, I do not at this point see Georgia getting into the conference championship. If we do, woohoo! Yeah. If we do, I'm a root for them, and I'll be happy they got in. But right now, there's some serious adjustments need to be made, and I mean between now and Saturday. And then they got to make adjustments between that Saturday and the next Saturday. Oh, wait a minute!
No, we got a weekend between there.
The next 2 Saturdays, because then we play Florida. So we shall see. But right now, Texas, I'm locked in on Texas, and then after that, it could be A&M, it could be us, it could be LSU. It just depends on how that scenario goes. And again, it has been an absolutely crazy season of football. So who the hell knows what's going to happen? But that's where I am right now. Texas, I got Texas waiting on. I got Texas waiting on either us, LSU, or A&M.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that's what I got there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we ran a little long tonight.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't do too bad though. It's not one of our world famous 2-hour shows from the first couple of seasons. We're getting better.
Oh man, we was on a roll though, that's for sure.
Oh man, hey, look, it's a good thing I stopped drinking long before we start doing these shows. We might have a 3-hour.
Oh god, I couldn't imagine. And when I started, come on, man, if it was me when I first started, and you was doing, you're right there with me. Oh my goodness. You'd have to have that button. You had that the beep button probably on on standby constantly.
Hey, YouTube wasn't cracking down on that then like they're not really cracking down on it. More people are self-imposing. Side note, y'all. More people, if you started watching some of your favorite stuff like stand-up comedy and things like that, you're noticing they're starting to get censored and they're going to they're rolling over to Patreon. It's because people are trying to draw more. They're trying to draw bigger sponsors other than just Temu. They're trying to draw other sponsors to come in and sponsor their shows, sponsor these shows they have on YouTube, and some sponsors are very adamant about that. So yeah, one of my favorite places to watch, and this is a shameless plug that we're not making it. Shameless plug that we are not getting paid for. It's a page called Chocolate Sundays, like a literal chocolate ice cream sundae. And it is a stand-up show that is filmed at the Los Angeles Comedy House, the Comedy House in Los Angeles. And, they come on and, these comics go hard, and they have started editing the hell out of them. I discovered them during COVID, and I have watched every single video on that. When I say every single video, I mean everything. everything. So,
Yeah.
but they started censoring the videos. So now, if you want the uncensored, you have to pay a couple dollars to go on the Patreon and watch them.
Yeah.
I know what he said. I know what the man said during the beef. I understand it.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
We can do
I've gotten off the beaten path. We do want to thank you all for joining us this evening. I think it's been a great show. We do appreciate y'all for tuning in. Those of you that were in the comments, definitely want to thank you all because that definitely helps the show out. We will be back next week. Rev will have his say tomorrow. Like I said, I got to go and it's almost like the Goonies looking for the treasure map. I got to find out where he is to get the video so I can put it up. And he said if he finds out that the coast is clear, then he'll be back next week because the mustard bottle really scared the hell out of him. So on behalf of myself, live from Zagner Central from the 405, and my brother from another, Collin P. from the DMV, this has been another episode of This Week in UGA Football. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll see you next week. And as we say, week in and week out, go Dogs.
Go Dogs.